Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back once again with another little news update. First of all, we have news on the future of Roman Reigns and what the whole walkout at the end of Backlash means for his future. Will he be depushed? Will his push continue? Will he turn heel? All kinds of possibilities going on. Also, we have news about WWE potentially signing one of the top women's wrestlers in the world today on the independent scene, certainly. And finally, we have news of that Vince McMahon biopic, Pandemonium, which is still in the works. There's a big update regarding someone who's been submitted a draft to play the role of Vince McMahon. But without any further ado, let's get straight on with it and let's get straight to all of the news. Let's talk about Roman Reigns. Obviously at Backlash, he defeated Samoa Joe in a very negatively received match. Everyone walked out. The final shot of Backlash after the pinfall was an immediate camera cut to the crowd, who were all busy leaving. At Slice Wrestling on Twitter is one of those weird accounts where I'm not sure how reputable they are. I think they've got some things right in the past, so it's probably worth paying a little bit of attention to them. But then again, I'm not sure how much credence to give their reported stories. They've said that apparently Vince McMahon was really shocked by the reaction to Roman Reigns' victory, and he saw the walkout as something of an eye-opener, specifically because he really values the New York market. However, on the other hand, WrestlingNews.co have reported that Vince was taking the opposite approach, and the backstage word on the street is that he was basically just attributing everyone leaving to the fact that the show had ran late and it was a Sunday night, and they all wanted to beat the traffic and get their kids home to go to bed, so they had school in the morning, that sort of thing. So, two very conflicting stories there, but Slice Wrestling have again come back with another report which says that Vince may be considering turning Roman Reigns heel. I'm not too certain how true this is in the immediate sense. I could potentially foresee a Roman Reigns heel turn on the horizon somewhere, but as of the right here and now, I don't think that's true. I think that the fact that Roman seems to be moving into a feud with Jinder Mahal kind of proves that to be false, but I'm looking forward to that Jinder versus Roman match just as much as you are. In other news, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has reported that apparently WWE may have signed Toni Storm, or maybe close to signing Toni Storm. For those unfamiliar with Toni Storm, she's an Australian/New Zealander. It's not that I've forgotten, I just think that she's both. Or she was born in New Zealand and resides in Australia, one of the two. But she's become a big fixture on the global women's wrestling independent scene. She's big in Japan, she's big in the UK, and she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. If you just watch one of her matches, you can tell, oh, this woman's got it, she's got something. She also competed in last year's Mae Young Classic. She was one of the favourites to win the tournament, but actually didn't make it all of the way. I think she made it to the semi-finals where she lost against Kairi Sane, if I remember rightly. Now, sources have told Meltzer that apparently Toni Storm accepted some bookings in Stardom, the big Japanese women's wrestling promotion, but told them that she couldn't work too long there. She had to be back in the UK by, I believe, June the 18th, which coincides nicely with WWE's whole King of the Ring tapings, kind of weird doubleheader tournament kind of thing that's going on that no one knows too much about right now. But it seems as though Toni Storm could well be appearing in terms of like the way she appeared in the Mae Young Classic, whereas she's not tied down to a contract, but she's just been brought in for 1 or 2 appearances. But on the other hand, they could have just snapped her up immediately. Obviously, WWE's recruiting campaign in the UK has moved into a new aggressive level since the announcement of ITV's new World of Sport series, and they've really been trying to hoover up a lot of UK talent as a response to that. And Toni Storm, even though she's from Australasia, New Zealand, Australia, one of the two. Even though she's from down that way, she is one of the biggest indie wrestlers in the UK as well, so it makes perfect sense why they'd want to tie her down. And finally, Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting on an update to the Vince McMahon Pandemonium biopic, which is reportedly still in the works. It's apparently on its 3rd written draft now, and a 3rd draft has been submitted to the man that they ultimately want to play Vince McMahon, Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper from The Hangover and all that. Really handsome Bradley. Now, I was talking to Sam about this before, and I said, Bradley Cooper for Vince McMahon, really? But Sam said, look, remember, a lot of it will be young Vince McMahon when he had brown hair, you know, and all that. And maybe if you squint, maybe Bradley Cooper does have the sort of features of a Vince McMahon. He's a very manly looking man, so is Vince. But I think Bradley's a bit prettier, he's a bit too pretty. I can't believe I'm thinking about it in this much detail. I really want this film to happen, because I think whether it's good or it's bad, it will be absolutely fascinating to see how Vince is portrayed on the screen and what they tell the truth in and what they kind of cover up or lie about or make look better. Like if there's something that was Vince's fault and they try and hide it and pretend that it was someone else's fault, that sort of thing. But I really want this film to happen. I just think it'll be fascinating to watch. And I can accept Bradley Cooper as Vince McMahon. I think I guess that will be fine. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching this news video. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic. And you can check out our Patreon as well if you want, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never, ever forget, of course, to join us.